Hey guys, it's Antonique. It's been since May of 2024 that I've posted, and oh my gosh, I posted a couple of videos and then something just told me to just delete the videos that I posted. And I think now I'm just ready to talk, you know. I feel like I kind of wanted to hide myself away because I just felt like I wasn't right, like in the right headspace. Um, but again, it's been since 2024. We are now in 2026, and oh my gosh, so much has changed. So much has happened. All good things, thank God. Um, I became a wife and a mother. My baby is 7 months old, and excuse me, he is the biggest blessing ever. I think, if I'm being very, very honest, I feel like me having a baby really just opened my eyes to reality. Hence, you know, my channel's called Jump Back into Reality. Um, but yeah, um, it is now 2026, and I'm finally ready to just stop holding myself back and, just put myself out there and stop holding the past against myself and just, live. I think this life, I'm not going to say that life is too short, but life is full of choices, and if you don't take any action in your life, or if you don't hold yourself accountable for certain things, you're never gonna be able to live your life. And I'm 24 years old. I just turned 24 in October, and I I'm I don't want to live in a prison. I know, I'm not in a prison, but what I'm talking about is a mental prison. I feel like there have been so many things that have happened throughout my whole life that I just kind of let it have a hold over me, and I'm just ready to let go. I just want to be positive. I feel like I am a positive person, and I want to spread that love and light to other people in the best way that I can. And I don't want to do it via just social media, like on Instagram, Facebook, all those other apps. I kind of just want to get more personable and just build a community, build relationships with other people. Um, and yeah, again, I think I'm finally ready. I've gotten over certain things that I was not over, and eventually, when the time is right, I'll go into it. But for now, I just want to vibe. I just want to talk about events that have happened over the past couple of years. Um, it's a new year, and I just can't believe we're in 2026. That's just one thing I just cannot believe at all. It's crazy. 2025 was a year of drastic changes in my life, and I'm pretty sure everybody else's lives. Again, like I said, I got married to my love, and I also have my little baby boy, and he's just the cutest thing ever. He's like the perfect mix between me and my husband, and I'm just like, I want more. I can't wait until I can have more. Um, but for right now, we're sticking to one because we got plans. We got big plans and we gotta stick to them. And that's one thing I actually want to do a little bit more. Is just stick to the things I say I'm gonna do, and you know, move with intentions. Move with the intention to get the job done, and just lead by example. I think you can't live a life of where you're just saying things just to say it. You have to live and say things with intentions and intend to put some action towards those words. um yeah. And I have written down a bunch of stuff that I wanted to talk about in all the books, or not all the books. Okay, well, yeah, I got books in here that I want to read, but what I'm trying to say is I've got all these things that I want to talk about that I've been writing about since August, and I'm just like, I got all these ideas. What is stopping me? And what has been stopping me over the past couple of months, or honestly since 2024, is just myself, my mentality. And again, like I just put myself in a prison, thinking like nobody wants to hear me, nobody wants to see me. People might think I'm ugly and I'm weird, and it's just like, what the fuck, you know? I'm sorry for cussing, but like, why am I even telling myself this? Oh my god. See, it's the mom brain, mom fog. Um, Jesus, why am I telling myself all these things that hurt my feelings? And I'm realizing that I have to reparent myself now, and I'm very glad that I'm like very cognizant of the things that I know aren't right for me, and yeah, the things that I just want to change so I can be a better person and just thrive to my highest potential. Like, I don't want to be stuck in a spot where, later on down the line, I'm 24 now, that I'm just gonna regret literally everything in my life because I just never put action towards the things that I wanted to do, and I just want to keep that. I want to keep that motivation. I just want to keep that drive, you know. But let's see here. I'm a first-time mom. Postpartum has been real, Oh my gosh. I did a home birth, and if I'm being very, very honest, I'm glad that I did. It was the best experience that I've ever had. Well, first time. Um, Jesus. Okay, so every time I talk to everybody that was pregnant before, it was always like, oh my gosh, be careful, take the epidural, the pain is so terrible. And just like the same thing that everybody always says to other people. They give you their traumatic experience, and then I know it's not in like bad faith, but it's just like to prepare you to what's to come. But you know at first I was letting all that stuff get to me, and I was getting a little frustrated, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm scared. And I'm like, hold on, I'm Antonique. I'm not them. I'm Antonique. I know that I can do this, and I know I'm not as prepared as like most people, but I know that I can do it, and I did it. Um, me and my husband moved to where we're at right now, and we found a midwife. And at first I wanted to do at home, which, I mean, I labored at home for 24 hours, no medication at all. My husband was squeezing my hips, and then I was like, I need that gas. They give us like some laughing gas, and we went over to, before they gave me the laughing gas, we had to go over to the midwifery, and then that's when they gave me the laughing gas, and I was like, thank God. And 20 minutes later, I had my baby boy, my precious baby boy, and now I have a 7-month-old. I feel like postpartum has been an experience that, most likely I'll go through again, but at least now I know the things that I will continue to do for myself, like make sure you take that shower, um, make sure that you just enjoy the little moments of your little one, just like being so tiny because they grow so fast. And yeah, just seeing your child just come out of you is just like, it just makes you realize like you can do anything. Also, like how like life is beautiful, it's, you can push life out, and you could either breathe life into that little person, or you can let it experience things that aren't conducive to the life experience that you would want them to have. But yeah, being a mother, going through postpartum, it's been a journey. And I definitely think that working out after like a month of postpartum definitely helped. It made me realize like, I don't want to be a person that's sad mentally and just draining. I decided to start working out, and it was the best decision I made, because now look at me, my face is no longer fat, thank God. I know it's not like that for everybody, but I thank God that, oh, and sorry for burping, my bad. Yeah, my bad. I can't edit it out the video, unfortunately, but yeah, I just wanted to say my bad. I didn't mean to burp there. Well, oh God, why am I apologizing for something that's normal? Okay, Jesus. See, that's my problem. I'm always saying sorry, and it's a habit that I developed while I was a child. And I'm not gonna say sorry for things that are normal, or just little things. There's no reason of saying sorry if you have nothing to say sorry about. But yeah, giving birth to my baby, my joy, my gift from God is, oh gosh, she's the cutest little thing ever. It just makes me want to cry. Yeah, but let's talk about some things that I want to talk about. All right, I got this whole thing, and it's all about politics. So I feel like over the past couple of years, I've been super into politics, and I definitely want to talk about that. But I think I'm kind of tired of politics. My brain is kind of like, let's talk about life. Let's talk about, the real things. I mean, politics is real, but it's real. Okay. Politics is real. It's a real topic, but there's more to life than just politics. You gotta build connections and relationships with other people, and expand your mind. Motherhood, there I realize, my mom would always tell me, you know, when you become a mother, you're going to have to make certain sacrifices and you're going to have to, you know, not choose yourself. I mean, she didn't say it like that, but, you know, that's how I interpreted the things that she said. And, you know, that's just a whole nother topic. I don't want to get into that. But being a mother is the best thing that has happened to me. And I want to get into that in this channel. You know, I feel like I'm more in tune with myself because now I'm a mother, or like I feel like I found my calling. I've always wanted to be a mother, and oh, my big boy. Marriage is a big thing. If I'm being quite honest, I never thought about marriage until I met my husband in 2021, and like instantly, for some reason, I was like, God sent me to meet you here in Austin, and I'm just so grateful that I met you. We're gonna get married, we're gonna have a bunch of kids. And then I was just saying all these things, and you know, I called it because, you know, now we're married, thank God. But I just never thought about like the details of being married. And I think being married is definitely something you should take seriously, for sure. I mean, obviously it's like something you gotta take serious, but I think marriage with someone that you actually love isn't like how they portray it in media. You know, you gotta actually love that person for real, not for, just for the things that they can offer you, but that bond that you can have with them, and just seeing them grow as a person, you know. And since I met my husband to now, like I just feel I just love him, you know? I don't know why I'm trying to stop myself from crying right now. Oh my God. Um, but yeah, marriage is beautiful. Marriage is always good when you're with the right person that's for you and that wants to understand you and love you. And don't push that person away. Love them and love you. And yeah, and always bring God in your relationship. Um, Obviously, I haven't been married long, but I definitely think that the correlation between the marriages that work and that don't work is having God in your relationship, you know? Yeah. On this page, I wrote new identity. I got all this stuff here, but I feel like I'm no longer the person I was 2 years ago in 2024, or like last year. You know, of course I'm not the same person I was before, but um I feel like a new person, you know? I feel more confident. I feel that becoming a mother, having a child, again, I think I said this earlier, but I feel more confident in myself. I feel like I'm in my calling, and I'm still trying to figure myself out, you know. I still have like these thoughts of like, who am I? What am I here for? But then I realize like it's all about the process always. You know, you can't expect to figure things out right away and then, you know, everything's golden. You're always gonna find new connections to everything that's happened in your life. And, you know, everything happens for a reason. And you gotta build off of that to find who you are always. The big topic right now, the big topic right now And it's been since, honestly, well, in my FYP of the internet, you know, it's been Candace Owens. And Candace Owens has been the GOAT for the past couple, well, I say GOAT. I don't even know why I said the GOAT. Scratch that. Candace Owens has been the big talk of the town for the past couple of, I guess, like years in my FYP space here. But yeah, Candace Owens has been really big, and she's been hitting a lot of marks recently, especially over the past like 6 months, or yeah, 6 months, with the whole Brigitte Macron evidence that Brigitte Macron is a man. You know, if you really look into it, yeah, that's a man. You know, like, I don't even know how nobody knew that woman was a man or was not a man, because you can clearly tell, like, by hands, facial expressions, like, and there's just so much. I don't know. I don't even want to get into that, but yeah, Brigitte Macron is a man, unfortunately. And yeah. And then the whole Charlie Kirk thing, you know. I'm pretty sure everybody watched the video online of that man getting shot in the neck, unfortunately. And honestly, for a while, I was a little traumatized. It was a little scary, because it's just like, he wasn't inciting. He never, looking at the videos, and I watched some of his lives sometimes, and oh my gosh, I'm stuck with my face. I watched some of his lives sometimes, and some of the come debunk me or something videos online, and he never seemed like evil. He didn't seem like the type of person that hated other people. He just seemed like he wanted to have an actual conversation with everybody and get an understanding of where they're coming from, and then hit them with facts, you know, or just give them his opinion. And thinking about the way they took him out, it kind of gets to me, because it's just like he was using his voice to, you know, just express himself, you know? Like, who are we if we aren't able to express ourselves? And seeing that he was killed for doing that is really traumatizing. But, you know, in his death, I feel like a lot of people started coming out and speaking out, and, you know, using their right to speak out. You know, I feel like people here in America, us Americans, we don't really see what we have. What we have here is special, and if we lose that, everybody else loses it. So, you know, we gotta be based, you know, we gotta be out there using our rights to the fullest, because again, not everybody has those rights. And seeing that somebody was so blatantly shot out, killed because of it, is kind of sad, you know. But, you know, Charlie Kirk, it has inspired me to be more than what I am today, you know, or what I was yesterday. And I'm gonna use my voice. I'm gonna keep asking questions. I'm gonna keep, you know, bringing certain things to people's attention, even if it makes them uncomfortable, because I want them to think. I want to continue to think, and I just want to elevate, you know, like, there's more to life than pain and suffering and struggle, you know, like, aren't people tired of these things, you know? And it's always nice to ask questions, you know, ask yourself questions, you know, don't be on autopilot, you know, ask yourself questions. Why do I do this? Why did I do that? Why did this person react in the way that they did towards me? Why this? Why that? You know, always continue asking questions. And the minute that you get shut down just because you're asking questions or you're stating facts or stating your opinion, that's the minute where, everything's gonna, you know, do go the wrong way. Yeah. That was a lot. This is a lot of talking for me, guys. I'm 25 minutes in and I'm like, oh my God, I'm actually doing this, I'm actually talking to a camera and I'm actually gonna post this video. And I hope that if you made it this far into the video, that you like my video, you subscribe, and if I see your like and I see that you subscribed, I'll make more videos. Yeah. Let's see. Let's get back into it. I kind of want to get into black fatigue. I think a couple months ago, there was a big thing. It was like on Halloween. There was this lady named Lily Gaddis who came out and did blackface. She said, "I'm the most terrifying thing in the world." She came out in a bonnet and blackface and hoop earrings, big ass hoop earrings, and was like, "I'm a black woman." And like, not gonna lie, y'all, I was like, oh my God, this shit was kind of funny. But it was really fucked up at the same time, like, homegirl, like, you didn't have to do that. Like, if you wanna get attention, do it the right way, just by being yourself and just talking. I kind of like looked into it. She did that video on Halloween, and then later on she made like an explanation video of why she was doing it, and she was like, I'm a part of a group of people who like do outlandish things so we can get people to understand that there are certain rights that are being taken away from us, and also that we got to stand up for ourselves. And she just went into this whole spiel, and I kind of got certain things from her point of view, but I'm like, why did you ever use a black woman as like a way to make yourself go viral? I understand that. If I'm gonna say this again, it was kind of funny, but at the same time, it was fucked up because, like, I don't. Okay, it was fucked up, but it was funny because it was right. Is what I'm trying to say. I hate that it's a stereotype about us black women, but, well, I'm not even gonna say that. I don't fit into that stereotype. I've never fit into the typical stereotype of any black woman, unfortunately. And, well, not unfortunately, I guess fortunately, because that means that I'm my own self, and I'm just not a copycat, I guess, or I'm not a carbon copy of another black woman, I guess, yeah. But yeah, I feel like it was fucked up because I just don't like the fact that black women, my fellow, I'm not even gonna say the sister thing because it's kind of stupid. It's not stupid, but it's still like, it's just like, there's no sisterhood mentality if you really think about it, because why are you fighting? Why are we fighting each other? Why aren't we loving on each other? Why aren't we trying to uplift each other? Like, let's go get some drinks. Let's go to brunch. Let's stop talking about men. Let's elevate ourselves. Let's just do better. But It's constantly fighting and talking about men and fighting over men, and it's just the culture isn't really culturing the way I would want, um, the way I would want my son to see the culture. You know, I wouldn't want him to have a million baby mamas, or my daughters, my future daughters, to have a million baby daddies and not take care of themselves. And I want my son to be a man, and I want my daughter to be a woman, a feminine woman, a woman who understands herself. And there's just so much, but the culture is just not culturing the way that I think we should be. And in turn, I feel like because other people see those flaws, people like Lily Goddess or Gaddis feel the need to use the stereotypes that we have as jokes, and or like, it's just so disgusting. It kind of sucks. But yeah, I thought that was pretty fucked up. But Black fatigue is definitely real. I'm tired of seeing all this stuff, and I'm tired of being stereotyped. Like, when people talk to me, they're like, "Oh, I didn't think you were gonna talk like that." I'm like a normal person? Like, you didn't think I was gonna be literate? Like, I hate the fact that that's a stereotype, that because I'm Black, I gotta sound ghetto, or I gotta be illiterate, or I can't read type shit. It's so sick. I hate all these damn stereotypes. It's just like, why can't you just be you, you know? But you are a product of your environment, and sometimes you gotta change your environment to see how wrong you were before, you know? See the errors, see the things that you should change, and just encourage others to do that. One thing that I have seen recently is that people are hating on our country. Like, why do you hate America so much? I hate that people hate America. Like, I know we have our shitty past, you know, slavery, you know, stealing land, but this is the land of opportunity, you know, the land of the free. We actually have rights here, you know. Americans have rights here, and it's amazing. And I think that if we don't realize what we have, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be gone, y'all. I was gonna say it's gonna go bye-bye. Like I'm talking to my child. But yeah, I feel like it's gonna be gone, you know, if we're taking the things that we have for granted. And again, not a lot of people in the world have the rights that we have, you know. We're definitely a melting pot of different cultures, but there's certain things that you gotta respect about America, you know. You gotta respect that, you know, women have rights here, men have rights. You can do other things besides, like, you can do things, you can have your own land, you can own this, own that, as long as you're not hurting anybody. And, you know, you can start from the bottom and work your way to the top. I mean, shit. I think about a lot of people, like, you can think, like, there's people who were, like, dirt poor, and they end up by, like, 25 or 30, especially now with social media just blowing up and having, having a whole mansion, you know? And I don't even think that really matters having a mansion, but you know, they're doing way better for themselves than they thought they were going to be, you know? But you can't really do that in any other country, you know, the way that you can do it here in America. And I think we as Americans need to wake up and see what we have in front of us and just love it, you know, accept it, cherish it. Especially now, like with all the things that are happening in the world and like especially the wars. Oh my gosh. But that's not nothing. It's not something we should be worrying about. But again, I mean, we should be worried, but at the same time, like, you know, you gotta keep living. You can't live in a prison, you know. Yeah. But America, 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 America. I'm gonna say it again. America is the best country on earth, and I'm so grateful for America because look at me. I'm able to sit here looking at my phone and talk about all the things that I have the luxury to talk about. You know, not a lot of people can talk about things, you know. People are getting bombed, you know. They're worried about their next meal, and I'm over here talking about, hey, postpartum, how am I doing, you know, marriage, love. Not a lot of people get to experience that in the way that I am. But what I'm going to start doing now is stop taking the things that I have for granted, you know, and I hope in turn with the videos that I make or the conversations that I like to, oh God, I'm doing it again. Okay, I hope that in the videos that I make and the topics that I bring up and, you know, we kind of like communicate and, you know, we realize the things that we have, you know, we cherish it and, you know, move forward and expand. I keep saying expand. I think the reason I keep saying expand is because I went to church finally. It's been months since me and my husband and my baby boy have went to church because, you know, one weekend the baby's throwing up, but the next he's super tired and he hasn't slept all day, or I haven't either, and you know, it's just a lot of stuff going on. But I'm like, we gotta go to church. And we finally did, and the pastor was talking about 2026 is the year of expansion. And what's crazy, I'm gonna go into a tangent right here. Towards the end of 2024, we were going to this church called Red Rocks, and at the church they were saying the year 2025 is going to be the year of kingdom building. And it's so funny because, you know, at the end of 2024, like towards the end of 2024, I found out I was pregnant, and then me and my husband, then boyfriend, we were planning out getting married, and we finally got married in February of 2025, and then, you know, we had our little one, and then, you know, we just had all these goals, and we met all the goals that we wanted to reach and achieve, and we did it. And you know, we're doing a lot of stuff, you know, and it's just like, wow, you know, kingdom building. And this year it's like, yeah, expand, expand, expand. Probably look funny as fuck with my glasses and this lighting. Next time I make a video, I'll be better prepared and I'll find my ring light. But yeah, but yes, expand, expand, expand your mind, expand everything, you know. The way he put it, I went to CBC, the way that Pastor Rob put it, it's just like you gotta leave the things that are holding you down behind, you know. And it's not like you can't just say it, you actually have to do it, because you know you're in 2026. It's 2026, and there's so many things you could get into, you know, but you can't expand and see what God can do in your life if you're just still stuck on things that happened 20 years ago, or you know, 10 years ago. You know, you gotta live and let go and let God. And I'm not just saying that just to say it, I'm actually living that like right now, because oh my God, if I went into certain things, you'd be like, Antonique, really? But yeah, but I feel like every time me and my husband decide to go to church, like, because sometimes there used to be times where we just wouldn't go, or we'd skip it, or you know, I think not going and skipping are the same thing, but we wouldn't go to church. And but the days that we would go, the message was always directed at us all the time. It was pretty crazy. And then again, it happened last Sunday, and it's just like it was directed at us, especially with everything that's been going on. And it's just like, live and let go, let God expand, change your scenery, change your perspective on things, change your outcome, and realize you're not doing it alone. God is with you at all times. Just go to him for everything. If you're gonna move that way, move with God. If you're gonna move that way, move with God. If you're going to open up a bank account, move it. Talk to God first. Any choice, you know, and trust yourself. Trust your gut, because literally anything that you do, you're not doing it just to do it. You're doing it because you've been moved to do it, you know? And yeah, but I have a lot of goals for this year, and hopefully I'll get the courage to make another video if this one ends up going really well. But yeah, maybe I'll go into detail with the things that have been happening, the epiphanies I've been having, the conversations with the ones that I love that have been happening. And yeah. I'm gonna keep saying yeah. Jesus. Okay, well, y'all, again, my name is Antonique, and thank you for watching this what am I gonna call this episode, this segment, this blog of Jump Back into Reality with me. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Also, Happy New Year, because, oh wait, no, dang. You know what? Happy New Year still. It's January 2nd now. But, again, I still made it. I was like, I'm going to make a video on January 1st, and I'm going to post it. But, you know, I still made it. Happy New Year. Yeah. Love y'all.